world, where everybody is located, I know New York and all over the globe, we are really in the middle of a very intensive global growth process, an emergency that is an emergence. It is an emergence of something new, an emergence of our inner strengths, please God. And I just want to open up our session with really grounding and inviting in a positive holding container for the intensity that the globe is experiencing right now. And just like we talked about last week, which I really see as the pillar of our work together, the incredible magical spell of spelling, where there's the beautiful teaching from the Sefer HaBahir, just to remind us all again of this deep source that we're grounding in as we do this work, the beautiful teaching from the Sefer Bahir, where it says, what is a cholem? What is that vowel point with the dot on top? And that sounds like, oh, the cholem, he says, is the neshama, it's the soul. It's the same letters as the word chalom. And he says that when you listen to the cholem and you listen to your neshama, then all is well, and you are strong in body and strong in soul. When you do not listen to your soul, when you do not listen to the chalom and to the cholem, and you rebel against it, then you have sickness on your head. It couldn't be more clearly stated that the deep Kabbalistic understanding of what illness is a lack of listening to our soul, a lack of listening. And so, of course, it makes perfect sense that the gift of this, that the symptom is bringing us right now, is isolation, is quarantine. It's an intensive gift of going in and listening to our insides that we are being given right now, where you cannot go out. So we around here, we're not going outside. We're not interacting with others. All of the stimuli and all of the things that pull our minds into the corners of creation, and all the focus on our jobs and schooling has been stripped away from us. And it is one of the greatest gifts, if we could just hold it and experience the gifts of this global isolation that's happening. My friend and one of my teachers, Raz Hartman, he's in Boded. They call it the isolation, and it's the same root as hitbodedut. And hitbodedut is Rebbe Nachman talks about it's a Kabbalistic and Hasidic approach of going in and talking, isolating yourself and talking to God, and just being deeply in touch with your soul. So right now, Raz, I believe, is teaching a class on this technique while he's in isolation. And wow, what a beautiful illustration of what is happening right now, where we are getting the gifts of turning down our external selves and focusing in on our internal selves. And no better way to do that, obviously, than our dreams, our chalomot. And the chalon, of course, the chalon is a window, and it's also connected to chalom. It's a window into our insides. Instead of looking out the window to the world out there, we're looking through the window of our inner languaging and our soul's messaging service, which is our dreams. And we're learning how to listen to her. We're learning how to listen to our soul right now as we're talking about dreams, because dreams are the language of the soul. So I think it's just extraordinary that we are doing this work as the world is so explicitly being called to isolation and to dreaming. I mean, the first thing we did when we found out that our kids weren't going to need to go to school, was we went and we turned off all of the alarm clocks. It was like this ritual turning off of the alarm clocks in the family. And it was a joyous moment for everyone, because, obviously because we're tired, but because I was like, wow, this is a fabulous moment. We're turning off this thing that has been pulling us away from listening to our souls. And we're just, letting my kids sleep late, letting myself sleep late in the morning and remember my dreams and lavish in dreams. We know that when there's an alarm clock that goes off, it's harder to remember your dreams. So it's just a wonderfully timed, amazing gift that all of a sudden the alarm clocks of the world are going off, and there's a suddenly permission given on a global level for us to finally listen to ourselves and allow ourselves to sleep, to rest, to dream, to be inside. And it's not just permission that's being given, but it is a new law. It is a new demand from our governments, and thank God from our governments, you know, a demand from our governments that we dream, that we sleep, that we go inside, that we be internal. And I've never seen, you know, in history, I don't know when this has happened. So it's really quite an auspicious synchronicity that this is occurring in the world around us as we are, you know, our little group of dream workers are working so hard to mine this field of dreaming and to understand it. So I really, again, like last week, I really task us with to be the soul doctors of the world and of ourselves and of our families, to take on the task at hand right now, which is healing. And so there's that core place where machala, which means disease, and cholim, sick people, is being transformed into hachlama and recovery through the chalom, through the dream. And also, as we talked about last week, the milchama, the wars. I think that somebody was mentioning that something like this on this level hasn't happened since World War II, in terms of just a radical change of day-to-day life, a radical shift in how we're experiencing our day-to-day. Hasn't been since the latest World War. And you know, in war times, and sometimes we have those in Israel, it's like you're in a suspended reality, a different reality that has different rules to it. And so war and sickness force us to enter into a new reality where we have new priorities, and we have high, you know, more aligned with our soul's priorities, unfortunately, which I think is one of the reasons that we have the unfortunate occurrences of war and sickness. Of course, again, those core roots of our three root letters. The reason that those come through on a humankind level is this: it's a gift. It's a gift and an opportunity that's realigning us to what we really need to be focusing on. So the quicker that we realize what we're supposed to be doing, which is connecting to our souls and our dreams and our inner life, the quicker that we realize that and start to do that, then the quicker the illness or the wars will start to fade away and to go away. So that's why the messianic promise, the Jewish ideal of messianic promise, is a state of being that does not have war, that does not have sickness. Because the messianic era is an era that is about our rectified consciousness, where we are in alignment with our souls, and we identify ourselves not with all the externals of what we're running after and doing and producing out there, but we identify ourselves with our souls, and we're lasok b'divrei Torah. We're busy in the words of Torah. We soak in it. We're busy, and we busy ourselves, and our business is the light of Torah, and the light of our souls becomes our business. That's what's happening right now. You know, how many people are not working, or whose business is going into the garbage? It's not fun, granted, but our business right now needs to be our souls. That's the business of today. That's the work of today. And the stock market of our souls is going to be soaring in wealth. That's the greater wealth that will come out of this, please God. The greater wealth. I know that we're all afraid of the financial, you know, crisis that's here, but finances pale in comparison to the wealth of the soul. And when we can desire the wealth of the soul and align ourselves to the, you know, to the riches and the treasures, you know, that's one of the core teachings about the Messianic era, is that nobody will be involved with, you will have all the dainties you desire and all the, you know, all the luxuries you desire, but they won't even be tempting to you, because that which we will desire in the Messianic era is just the dainties of the soul. It's just the treasures of learning our soul and of Torah, the light, learning our soul's light. That's what we really want. And that's where the real riches are. And it is being taught to us in a challenging way, because we weren't quite getting the message, and you know, through the normal means. And so it's being taught to us now. And there is a burn, and it hurts to suffer financially, and it hurts to suffer physically, obviously. But these sufferings that we are experiencing and going through are the birth pangs of the Mashiach. These are the birth pangs of a larger consciousness, of a more expansive consciousness. So, I bless us all to be able to breathe our way through it.